we go. Well, hello and welcome to Thursdays with Annette. I have a special guest in the kitchen. I'll tell you who she is in a minute. But if you haven't been tuning in, you might go, what is this happening here with you, Mrs. Sym? Well, unfortunately, I fell over on wet tiles. I slipped over, broke the top part of my humerus bone. So I really can't cook at the moment, which is killing me. But I have invited special guests in for the few weeks while I'm out of action, and today you are blessed with one of my daughters. That's right, it's beautiful Rachel, my second daughter, Rachel Eve, and she did the show last week as well and had a fun time. And thank you for all your positive comments to Diane and Rachel, we really appreciate it. So now, last week, Rachel, you made the carrot cake.
I did. I hope you cooked it at home. It's super yum.
And we had 3 fabulous winners because all I had to do was write a like, share and write a comment for Tuesdays. And Natalie Fallon was super excited, and Lind and Sue Tiras. They all won a personally signed copy of Book 1. Now, I'll be giving away at the end as well, as you know. So now the recipe, I won't tell you anything. I'll let Rachel take it over now. I'm going to come back near the end there and finish it off. But enjoy my beautiful daughter, Rachel, and take it away.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining me. Today we're cooking beef stroganoff. Yep, that's right, super yum. It's actually, you'll find it in Book 2. So remember to do all of the things that Annette said, like, share and comment, and you could win this. It's also in Cooking for 1 or 2. So 4 serves or 2 serves, it's up to you. You can choose. Okay, so this is the recipe. It's actually listed as chicken stroganoff. So that's the recipe there. We've just changed it today because there are a few variations that Annette gives you. We're doing the beef variation, but you can also do it with veal as well. Okay, so that's it. Let's get started. Okay, I'm just going to go through all the ingredients so that you're all set up and you know and you're ready and we can get cooking. All right, so to start with, you need a teaspoon of crushed garlic. Now, I really love the jar because I always have it in the fridge and it's there for me, but you can use fresh minced as well. That's not a problem at all. Then I have my 600 grams of lean beef rump. If you're doing the chicken, then you'd use 600 grams of skinless chicken breast. Make sure you get that skin off. And then we also have 1 cup of sliced onions, 3 cups of sliced mushrooms, lots of slicing today, 2 yummy, tangy, sweet gherkins. We also then have 2 teaspoons of the salt-reduced stock powder. Now, because I'm doing the beef, I'm going to use the beef stock powder. If you did the chicken, you would use the chicken stock powder. The other week, I only had the chicken stock powder, so I just used that with the beef. So it really doesn't matter too much. Don't stress yourselves. Okay, then we have 2 tablespoons of the no added salt tomato paste. And that can look like this guy here. You can tell you want to look for that blue, no added salt. Okay, and then we also have 1 tablespoon of ground paprika. We use the standard paprika, it's not the smoked or the hot one. And then we also have a tablespoon of the corn flour. And then we've got the can, 375 mils of the light evaporated milk. You'll also need cooking spray for your fabulous. We're using the amazing wok today. So if you haven't got one of these from NeoFlam, you should get online and get them. I think Annette has them on her site. They're just tremendous. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on, get that warmed up. It's a new little contraption for me today. Wish me well. And we'll get started. So what I'm going to do first is I'm using the Rice Bran oil spray because it's really great for the NeoFlam pans. Okay, so give a really nice generous coating there. And I'm going to measure a teaspoon of the crushed garlic. Love the spoons. Okay, teaspoon, chuck it in. Sizzling and hot. Okay, so with that, I'm going to add my beautiful lean beef rump. What I'm going to do, Annette gave me a really great tip, is I'm going to just put in a few bits at a time. Because it's nice and cold and I've freshly diced it into, or sliced it into strips, You don't want to overload the pan with too much meat at once. Otherwise, it'll affect the temperature of the wok, and then it'll start stewing, and we don't want that. Okay, so I'm going to have that here, and I'm just going to, every now and then, just add a few bits to it, while also giving it a little toss and making it all marinate with that beautiful garlic. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Okay, so just add as you go. Now, I really like to use the beef rump whole rather than the sliced ones. I find it's a little bit more juicy and tender. But hey, if you don't have time and you don't want to be slicing away, that's fine too. Get the pre-sliced, because in the end, I say any home-cooked meal is better than not. All right, starting to smell good. I wish we had smell-o-vision and you could smell it. So I picked this dish today because it's Valentine's week. And this was actually one of the first dishes my gorgeous husband made me, and it was for Valentine's Day. So he made the beef stroganoff for me, set it all up, and actually it was a pretty funny story. He got it all ready, and I think he went away just to get a lighter to light the candles and really set the mood. And then he came back, and our dog had climbed up on the table and had eaten all of the dinner off the plates. The little dog, Angel, that's who she was actually, he thought it was really kind of fancy and did a little ring of the rice and then did the stroganoff in the middle, and she just ate all of the meat. So we just were left with this like ring of rice. So luckily, because it serves 4, there were 2 serves left, and I'm pretty confident he would have got new plates for us. All right, so that's looking really nice there. So what we're going to do, because we've dealt with the meat, obviously if you chopped it up, you'd want to use a different chopping board too, but I'm just going to wash my hands, and then I'm going to get to slicing the onion. Oh, it smells fantastic. Are you guys going to be cooking this for Valentine's? I picked this dish because, it's a family favorite. We grew up with this. And it's just something that you can cook for friends and family. It's really hearty and creamy. So you're just going to go along here, cut your onion in half and just slice it up. Nice and thin to get a cup. But yeah, sometimes Valentine's Day doesn't have to be expensive. You don't have to always go out and do, these big things. A beautiful, thoughtful home-cooked meal can really hit the spot, I think. It's always a favourite of mine. Okay? So, Valentine's Day is this Sunday. So obviously you definitely could give the beef stroganoff a try, but I know a lot of you have so many books of Annette and have your favourite recipes. I'd love you to tell me what you would do or what you would love for your Valentine's Day dinner. What's a recipe of Annette's that you think would be perfect for that? I'm having quite a few friends over on Saturday night called Palentine's Day, because they're my pals. And we're going to maybe do a little bit of a Mexican thing with the Mexican dip and some drinks, some yummy stuff like that. But yeah, so let me know, what's your favourite dish? What do you think would be perfect for Valentine's Day dinner? All right, so we've done that. I'm going to get my cup and measure. We just need 1 cup of the onion, nice and sliced. That'll do. A little bit more, that's all right. So I'm going to chuck that in, clear that aside. If you really love onion, if you do have any leftovers, you're more than welcome to just put them in as well. So you're going to stir this around and then just let it cook for 2 minutes. So while it's doing its thing and it's cooking, breaking those onions down to make them nice and brown, we're going to start dicing the mushrooms. So we need 3 cups of mushrooms. So that's quite a lot. So let's get started. Mushrooms are actually one of the first things, sorry, let me just move my things around a bit. It's one of the first, all right, we're set. It's one of the first things that I introduced Portia to for cutting. So, you start the kids in the kitchen with their, stirring and measuring and adding. But they always want, I know Portia was always super keen to chop. She's like, let me at it, let me have a knife, I want to cut. And as a you know, 4-year-old daughter, I was quite apprehensive to give her a sharp knife. So mushrooms were actually a fantastic way to introduce her to cutting, because you can actually even use just a butter knife. So that's how I would start it. Make sure you're giving it a stir every now and then. It's looking good, guys. But yeah, so if your kids are keen, this is a perfect dish. 3 cups of mushrooms, they're going to have a lot of chopping practice. Okay, and if you are nervous, because if they are a bit younger, it's easy. Just use a butter knife. They'll cut just as fine. It's coming along good. So this is a family favourite. So this is one that we grew up with. We had it most weeks. And I definitely know my little sister Jenna, she has it most weeks in her repertoire with her family. It's a really good one. And I love that Annette gives you the variations. So, you know, you can mix it up. You can do beef, you can do the skinless chicken breast, or even veal. So it's quite versatile. All right, these are looking good. Now, if you wanted to, you could prep all this beforehand, but I thought I'd multitask to the max today and chop away while I cook. All right, I'm going to start putting this in to see what it measures. Give this another little stir. It's looking great. Now, what's amazing with this recipe, with the beef stroganoff, is what Annette always says is it's all the flavour with none of the fat, which is just fantastic. That's what we're wanting, right? We want that yummy taste, we want those beautiful flavours, but I certainly don't want all the fat that comes along with it. So for this recipe, for one serve, it's for the beef, it's 8.6 grams of fat, and that's it. And even if you're using the chicken breast, the skinless chicken breast, it's actually even lower in fat, and that's only 4.2 grams of fat per serve, which is just incredible. Creamy, delicious, and healthy. So that's your 3 cups. I'm going to chuck that in there. I'm going to give that a good, oh, missed one. Going to give that a stir, and I'm going to let that stir for another 2 minutes as well. All right, so now I'm going to get ready, and I'm going to just give this a mix, get it all set up, and then I'm going to show you how I slice my gherkins. Now, the gherkins are such a fabulous thing that Annette has added to the recipe because it gives that yummy sweet tanginess, and it's just delicious. So in the recipe, it does say finely diced. We don't want big chunky bits of it. We want that real subtle, yummy, sweet tanginess, you know, throughout the whole dish. All right, so I'm just going to move these over, and then I can show you how to do your little gherkins. Now, I'm going to use a smaller knife for this because the gherkins are smaller. I love these knives. I'm going to go with the green handle one. All right, so you've got your gherkins. The hardest thing is to get them out of the tins. Absolutely. So what we're going to do is, what I do is I cut it in half. And then what I do is I turn it on its side and cut it in half long ways again. Then flip it over, and then I'm going to run along and do about 3 or 4 down, okay, across. And then I'm just going to do little, gentle little slices so I get these teeny tiny pieces. Okay? And so that's how you can finely dice your gherkin. You know, it's just a little trick that I had that really helps make it really nice and fine. Then you can just sort of put it together and then run it along like so, just to make sure it's all nice and evenly diced. So for this recipe, you want 2 gherkins. You know, I know that my little sis loves to throw in an extra one because she's gherkin crazy. All right, so again, you've got your half, you go halfway down, then you're going to do slices across, about 3 or 4. And then you're just going to run along and do little slices, and that will make it into nice little dices. I might actually switch to a bigger knife for my next gherkin. Now don't forget, you've got your mushrooms there. I'm going to give that a nice little stir. Keep, mixing it around, making sure it's all getting nice and brown. It smells delicious. So who wants to come over and have some beef stroganoff and celebrate Valentine's Day with me, hey? One of the big benefits of coming on and helping Mum out, obviously because, I must be the favourite daughter and the best daughter, of course, helping her out, but it's because I get to then take this home and dinner is done already. So my Thursday nights always look fabulous because it's all done. So thank you for helping me have dinner already done for my family. All right, so that's just one gherkin. So I'm actually going to swap to the purple handle. I do like a big knife. I'm going to cut that in half, put the other side there, turn it in on its side and cut it in half again. Go along and do it in 3 slices, 3 or 4. Turn it on its side and then we're just going to run along and do little gentle slices of that. So it's nice and finely diced. So in the books, it's actually a chicken recipe, but the reason why I've done beef today, I love it because it is like, what you think of when you think of stroganoff, the original. But also when I'm back in a few weeks' time, I'm doing my favourite chicken dish. So I didn't want to overdo chicken, so you get the yummy beef instead today. So I hope you all go on and do your like, share and comment, and you can win a signed copy of book 2 and cook this for yourselves. Or if there's only 1 or 2 of you, you can get the cooking for 1 or 2 instead. I think even if I was just 1 or 2, I'd do the 4 anyway and freeze it so then dinner is done for another time. All right, so I'm going to just combine that. Nice little dice. That looks fantastic, guys. All right, so I'm going to check on how I'm going so that onions, the mushrooms and the beef look amazing. So now we're getting into the really hard stuff, we're going to chuck everything else in. That's what I love about the Simply Too Good way. Anyone can do it. It's super easy. So in we go. We're going to add our 2 amazingly finely diced gherkins. Okay, I'm going to move this over. We don't need any more chopping. Might even slide this over. Let's see how it goes. Oh, we got it. All right, so you've got your 2 finely diced gherkins in there, and then we're going to add a lot of other stuff. So we're going to add the 2 tablespoons of no added salt tomato paste. We're going to add the 2 teaspoons of salt reduced stock powder. You're going to add the tablespoon of your ground paprika, which adds a beautiful colour, makes it so nice. I'm going to pop all these away because we like to have a clean kitchen. And we're going to give that a nice old mix. So the paprika really adds a nice flavour, but it's also the vibrant colour. So it just looks so yum. I wish you guys could smell this. It's delicious. Okay, so we're going to really give it a good old mix. And we're nearly done. That's how easy it is. All right, that's looking great. Thanks so much for all of your support, guys, last week. Now you know that Annette has a little mini-me. Yes, I think a few of you said you could close eyes and think it was Annette speaking, so that's a bit fun. But yeah, I really appreciate your support because I don't do this. Yes, I've grown up with Annette and all the fabulous cooking, but, live TV isn't really in my daily life. All right, so that's looking fabulous. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the evaporated light milk and I'm going to mix that in with the tablespoon of corn flour. So the reason why we add the tablespoon of corn flour is it adds it sort of thickens the sauce. You want to make sure that you mix it together. Oh. So funny, I picked this because I literally have no skills with using a actual can opener that goes around. It's hilarious, but struggled with that one today too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the whole can into the measure cup, add the tablespoon of corn flour, make sure that's all in there, and I'm going to give it a little whisk with a little whisk. Isn't that super cute? So if you are lactose free and your body does not like the light evaporated milk, then you can substitute it with your lactose free milk. Or if you're dairy free, you can substitute it, the evaporated light milk, with almond milk. And this is the brand that Annette especially loves. Make sure it's unsweetened as well. So if you do substitute either of these instead of the light evaporated milk, you just need to double the corn flour, okay? So you'd put in 2 tablespoons, and that's because it's just a little bit thinner. So you need that extra corn flour to make sure it's nice and thick. All right, so this is looking fabulous. Use my gorgeous little whisk. Do any of you have these at home? And then we're just gonna pour it in. And that's it, guys. Could it be any easier? It certainly couldn't be any yummier. All right, so I'm going to give this a stir, and basically what we do is we just stir it until it boils. Now the big tip is, as soon as it boils, it's done, okay? So you don't want to overboil this because it can change the evaporated light milk. It can split a little bit. So just boil, then you're good to go. You have the most yummy, creamy, delicious, and healthy beef stroganoff for you and your loved ones. All right, so we're just going to leave that to boil. And then I'm going to plate it up. So what did you think? Do you love this recipe? Let me know. Try it. Show me your photos at home. You know, anything that you're doing on Valentine's Day this Sunday. I want pictures. Let me know what you got up to. What's your favourite Annette recipe? What would you cook for your love?
I know. Well, you know, Bill and I have been married 100 years, so I think he might cook for me, unfortunately, this year. Let me just move that for a second. So thank you, Rachel, for making the chicken stroganoff out of book 2 or Cooking for Honor 2. Now, while that's boiling, I just wanted to do some housekeeping. So if you want to win book 2 or Cooking for Honor 2, you can choose. All you have to do is like, share, and then in the comments, you know what you're going to do. It's like every Thursday. Hashtag Symply Too Good. The SYMPLY number 2 good. And I just randomly pick 3 fabulous people each week, and I hope it's you this time because I personally signed the book.
Woo-hoo!
Now, I know it's fantastic.
All
now,
right, this is boiling, so it's
here
done,
we go. Here we go.
guys.
Here we
I'm
go.
gonna turn this off, and I'll show you. Oh, look at that gorgeous little pre-done rice. Now you can serve it with basmati rice, or you could do cauliflower rice or glass noodles. That's always a good good thing to add as well. Sometimes I like to add a side of green beans and broccoli to add, you know, cover some of the greens as well.
Yeah, salad or veggies on the side are always fantastic. And traditional stroganoff is very high in fat because it's normally based on sour cream. And they normally use the thigh of the chicken or the cheaper cuts of beef. So it would probably be between 30 and 40 grams easy if you did it that way. But no, not the Simply Too Good way. I mean, who knew?
The best way.
Who knew, Rachel? Weight loss could be so deliciously healthy. Oh my gosh.
Messy.
Oh my God,
It
who
tastes
cares?
so good.
Now, next week, I did Tuesday show and I mentioned what was going to happen on Tuesday, but I got it wrong. Tuesday, Diane is going to be back in the kitchen making a fabulous recipe she loves. She said, please can I make this? And it'll be rock cakes out of book 2, and it's also out of Cooking for Honor 2. So tune in for Diane.
I want some sweeties.
I know, rock cakes. I mean, they're an oldie but a goodie. And then on Thursday, we'll have a beautiful lady coming in called Jen, and she's going to make fish Italiano. So I did say that was on Tuesday, but it's on Thursday. Now, the rock cakes are going to be on the website for you to download the recipe, get the ingredients, and make it with her. Now, don't forget, My gosh, my end of summer weight loss challenge starts on Monday, Rachel. It's going to be fantastic. Super excited about it. Now, if you'd like to know more about it, or if you're getting missing out-itis and haven't done it before, go to simplytoogood.com.au/membership. It starts on Monday, the 15th of February. Okay, well, thank you, Rachel. You did an awesome job.
Yay! Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Yes, happy Valentine's Day for Sunday, everybody. And we'll see you again on Tuesday. Bye.
Happy cooking.